On this episode of the Glass Detective, I'm going to be creating my own version of a ground probe for finding privies. I'm going to start off with this tension rod made of spring steel from an old 70s car, as well as this piece of piping I'm going to be using to make a handle. I'm also going to be using hardware to create two tips as well as secure my handle. I'll give you guys a better view of what I have here in my hand next. Here's a close-up of the parts and pieces I'll be using on my probe to create two tips. First things first, I have to cut the ends off of my spring steel rod I got from the trunk of an old car. Now that I've cut my ends off, I need to machine each side down so that I can put threading on it. I'm going to have to machine 1 inch off of one side for the tip end and 1.5 inches off the other side for the handle end. Now I've got the end threaded and the coupling nut on. I'm going to cut it off and put it on the sander and make it the size that I want. Now all I have to do is round it up on my sander. And there's my final shape to my tip. Next I'm going to move on to cutting the handle and putting that on. Now that I've finished sanding the handle, all I have to do is put one hole up top, one hole in the bottom, and the top hole I have to tap out so that it screws down onto the probe. Here's the tap I'm going to be making my threads with. Screw the two together. Now all I have to do is tighten up the entire piece from tip to handle. And there you have it, one completed ground probe. I'm really liking the design of this. I'm liking the length of it as far as feasibility and transporting it. I like the weight, love the hollow handle. Of course I can hear things going on in the ground, and got a nice flush back to it. I tapped and dyed this guy. I'm used to welding them together, but I like the interchangeability of it, so see how she holds up and go out and give it a test.